Hi and welcome, this is Barb Cooper from helpmysquashgame.com, and we've just come up from hosting the Canadian doubles at the club, and so while I was watching the doubles games it prompted me to think that I really needed to give the doubles players a tip that I think could really change your doubles game, and that is you need to always be hitting at least 2 walls. If you've come from singles, for me to say that to you is practically a sin, because when you try and hit straight length, the last thing you want it to do is clip the side wall and get checked. But in doubles, you really need it to catch a wall. So you want to think about hitting your shots so that they either catch the side wall on the way to the front wall, or they catch the side wall on the way back from the front wall. So when you're serving, all sorts of times you need to be catching that second wall. And of course, when you're hitting length, you're still trying to do the basic thing of getting the ball by your opponent. So there's one open concept of how you could think about the game and really improve your effectiveness on your shots. And I'm going to give you a second one that will work for both singles and doubles. And that is, when you're trying to hit a winner, make sure the ball's going to hit the floor twice. Twice. So instead of just trying to hit the ball away from your opponent, think about where that second bounce is going to be and then execute your shot according to that. It will give you a much broader base of where to hit winners. You could hit a winner to the back of the court as long as that second bounce hits the floor before your opponent gets there. You could hit a mid-court winner as long as the ball hits the floor on the second bounce before your opponent can get to it. It's a great shot. So it will open your repertoire about where you can hit the ball and how you can hit the ball and at what speed you can hit the ball. Think about it. If you want to hit a winner, the ball's got to hit the floor twice for it to be a winner. Now, again, recently I have just been delivering courses for Squash Ontario and for the Coaches Association of Ontario. It's actually Coaches Week in Toronto, and because of that I came across a book that was written by Andy Higgins, who is a very, very famous coach in the Ontario marketplace. He's been in sport all his life, and he was the director of the National Institute for Sport in Ontario. His name's Andy Higgins, and he wrote a book called Best Coaches, Best Practices. And Bruce Kidd actually said no coach, parent or teacher should be without this book. Now, I love this book for so many reasons, but one of them is that Andy talks about 7 keys to beginning with an expectation of significant change. And I think the word significant change is very, very important, both for coaches, for parents, and for players. Because truthfully, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for significant change. We're looking for our game to improve. We're looking as coaches to help our athletes do that. We're looking as teachers to create an environment where players feel empowered. And as parents, we're looking for our kids to blossom and flower and love the sport that they're playing. So pick that book up. It's a really, really useful read for anybody who's in sport at any level. So now let's think about training. And you know me, it's all about my feet. And these have become my best friends. Let me show you why. So here we go. This is just a simple, soft doggy ball. And all you're going to do is put it under your foot and slowly squish it around. All the way around your foot up to your heel. When you've used that ball, then take the harder one. And this is dollar store. and do exactly the same thing. What you're trying to do is massage the fascia, loosen up the joints, because truthfully, we don't use our feet. Find the pressure points, find the little bits that are knotted up, and try and loosen them. Over a few months, you are going to get a huge benefit in your feet for this, and that will help your movement. It's not comfortable, but it's really worth doing. And now it's time for Ask Barb. And I get this question a lot. And it's a question about playing squash without a referee, and how do you keep the game fair, safe, and obeying the rules. And so many of the times people have questions about lets and strokes and whether it's a fair let and all that sort of stuff. And the two biggest issues that I want to cover today are the guy who hits a drop shot at the front of the court and doesn't clear. But when you ask for a let, doesn't think you're anywhere close, and so turns around as though you're trying to cheat and says, "Really?" And you know perfectly well that if he'd cleared, you could have got to the ball. Now, here's the answer when you have no referee. My suggestion is go up and touch him on the shoulder. What that will do is it will show that you were there to play the ball. You're not shoving him. Just touch him gently on the shoulder, make him aware that you are right behind him, and I'm sure you'll find that a lot of these issues will change, because now he'll understand that you were right behind him, and definitely he'll give you a let. He might not give you a stroke. It is actually a stroke probably, but he might not give that to you, but at least you'll get a let and it'll solve all the frustration. Now the other one is about what is a let and what is a stroke in terms of clearing the ball in the middle of the court. And I'm going to give you a very quick illustration. So here's a court. And let's say the pink player is going to play the ball. The blue player was crazy enough to hit it fat into the middle of the court. So the ball is, let's say, around here. Now, this is the rule. If you attach a piece of string from the ball to the vertical nick on either side of the court, this whole area that the blue guy is standing in is a no-go zone. They have to clear to the side, they have to clear back, they have to clear over the other side, but they cannot be in that triangle. That's a stroke. Honestly, if you are standing here and the guy's about to hit the ball, I probably would expect you to be cringing, and you probably could be not looking, because you're fairly sure you're going to be wearing the ball. Well, if you're in that situation, honestly, it's a stroke. If the guy stops and does not strike the ball, you're going to say, "Thank you very much. Here's the ball, here's the point, and let's carry on. I really appreciate you not hitting me. I'm sorry, I will clear better next time." Does that make sense to you? So wherever the ball is, you take a piece of string and you put it either side and you stay out of that triangle. Stay out of that triangle. I hope that helps. This is Barb Cooper from helpmysquashgame.com signing off. See you next show.